Hi, and welcome to another episode of the Foxy Business Hour, where we try to spread knowledge and education to small business owners so that they can make decisions about their business. Today we have a very special guest, my friend, my business partner, the yin to my yang, Susan. Hello, Susan.
Hi, LaDonna.
So, thank you for coming on.
You're welcome.
I know that you were really nervous about this and that you thought it was going to be torture, so we're going to try to make it as easy as possible. So
okay, I appreciate it.
we're just going to sit here and chat.
Okay.
With our lunch and, well, not lunch and learn because it's going to be dinner and learn, or we got to come up with a better name for it.
Yeah, we do. Yeah. I've been trying to, I'm like, wine and dine, but it's more than that.
Seeing as we're going to have this like dinner and learn in February, February 25th, and it's going to be at 5, and it is at the
Wilderness Lake Preserve Activity Center.
Yes. So it's gonna catered meal with a little bit of tax knowledge. So I thought this is a good time to have both of us come on here.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about our accounting firm and our history and how we got here and all of that jazz.
Sure.
So, which is rare because we're normally asking other people
the questions.
We get very interested in other people's stuff and then forget that we actually have a very interesting story.
We do.
Okay, so let's start off with, how did you get into accounting?
Ugh. Many eons ago.
Not that many eons ago.
A few. So in 1993, 93, I know that was a long time ago, probably before you were born.
No, I was 9.
Oh, okay. I was in college and I was hired on by South Trust Bank, who is no longer an individual bank, to work on their newly introduced product called the check card, which we now know as the debit card. It had been sold to them as a self-balancing process that was never going to have a problem between the bank and the customer. So everybody was going to get paid and everything was going to work fine. Yeah, they issued debit cards to all of their upper level management for about 6 months, and nothing hit their checking accounts. Not a single transaction. So I literally had to go back through and set up all the procedures of how it was going to work, how we were going to balance things. I had to go back and find all of those transactions and charge all of those executives for all of the money that they spent in 6 months. Yeah, it was very interesting because it was so new at the time.
Yeah.
And so that was how I got into actual working in accounting. I was in college for accounting. I was getting ready to graduate. I graduated in the beginning of 94. So this was kind of, I don't even remember how I got the job. I don't know how I met the lady who hired me because I was actually working at another bank as a teller.
Okay.
And then I ended up I don't remember that part of it. I know. I was trying to think about it the other day and I'm like, I don't even remember how I met her. But her name was Elaine. She was wonderful. She got me started on my journey to accounting and setting up policies and procedures.
Awesome. So you're about to go to college, right? And let's rewind. You're about to go to college, right?
Yeah.
And you're looking at your classes. Why did you decide on accounting? Because when I was doing it, I didn't even know accounting existed. Like, when I went to go into it, I was just, like, looking for something in math because I knew I was good at math.
Yeah. So, when I was in high school, up until my senior year, I was bound and determined I was going to college for journalism.
Yeah.
I was the office manager of the paper. I was the advertising manager, went out, sold all the ads for the paper that we put out every month, and, just did all of that, and I loved it. And so I was like, oh no, I'm going into journalism. This is my thing. I needed one more class to take for my senior year to fill up my schedule, And I'm like, you know what? It's not going to hurt to take accounting. At least I'll understand business. And I fell in love with it. It came extremely naturally. And I had a complete mindset change my senior year of high school, and turned down a scholarship for a good college for journalism, and went the accounting route. Nothing says you love accounting like giving up a scholarship to something else. So,
were your parents like?
No, they actually were not surprised that because it's math, like you said, it's math.
Yeah.
And they were not surprised that I switched to something more math-based than social.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like you have, like, a battery, and when your battery is drained, you're like, I don't want to see anybody. I don't want to be around anybody. I'm done.
Yeah. And, a lot of things were going on at the time, and in the news. At the time, I was living in Arkansas, and my sister and I were babysitting for one of the whistleblowers on Clinton, and the night they all showed up, all the media showed up on the front doorstep and harassed my sister and I, trying to get a scoop that we didn't know existed.
Oh, I forgot that Bill Clinton was in Arkansas.
Yeah, he was governor.
Gosh.
Yeah, and we were babysitting for one of the whistleblowers, and we had no idea that he even worked for Clinton, nor did we know that he was going to be a whistleblower that night. So the press showing up and being as horrific as they were to two kids that had no idea what was going on also kind of changed my mind. I found out at that point that I am not the person to go, excuse me, I'm sorry that your son just died, but can you tell me how you feel right now? That's not me. Like, right. I can't. And that's essentially what they were doing. They were standing there, they were harassing us, they were waiting for us to leave, they were waiting for the parents to come home and see if they could. It was just an awful situation, and it really changed my mind about being press.
I didn't know that about you. I didn't know that you were. I knew you were from Arkansas. Or you not from Arkansas, but that you lived in Arkansas. But I didn't connect those two. That was that during, that was the dress, right? That controversy.
No, it was before that.
Oh, was that the investments?
Before that.
What was it then? What was the big?
This was in 1988, and
I was 4.
Yeah, so this was 88, and the whistleblower.
You don't have to tell us who the whistle. I'm just trying to figure out which.
So there was some scandal about airplanes dropping packages in fields, and people who were tied to the railroad track and beheaded by the trains, obviously, being ruled suicides, who had seen the airplane drops.
Oh, I'm going to have to look this up.
Yes,
now
you are.
I don't know. I knew about 2 of the controversies, and obviously one, but they have to be within because even when the Monica Lewinsky thing was going on, I was still a child, so I knew about it, but I didn't I don't think I understood.
Yeah.
I was cigars and this and that, and I was like.
The controversy for this one was more of the state coroner that worked for Clinton was ruling deaths that could be tied to Clinton as suicides and not homicides. And there was a bunch of shit that came out about that.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll have to look that up, and you might have to edit some of this. So just see.
Why would we have to edit it?
Yeah. So that I don't get hunted down.
Nobody's gonna hunt you down.
I actually went to the same high school as Jennifer Flowers, who was the Monica Lewinsky before Monica Lewinsky.
Oh yeah, she was. Okay, yeah. Okay, we're gonna.
Yeah, that was. I went to the same high school.
But I know you're not actually from the U.S. Where were you born? Canada. And then your parents were in Great Britain before that, and then they moved to Canada.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Actually, all of my family is born in Britain, except for my sister and I. I was the first generation born outside of England, and then my daughter was the first generation born in the United States.
So you had to go through like the whole like U.S. citizen.
I did. It was interesting. It was interesting because I did my citizenship pre 9/11.
Yeah.
So it was very different than the process now. I was also very surprised at somebody like me who I don't want to say I'm not that interesting, but to the government, I don't think I would really be that interesting. Like I paid my taxes, I got married to an American, you know, all this stuff. I went to high school in the States, I went to college in the States, and when I got to my citizenship interview, I'm not joking, they had a file like that thick. I'm like, on me. I'm like, I haven't been arrested. I've had one ticket. I've had for speeding. I'm like, I've done nothing to be investigated, and they got that much on me? What do they have on people who do stuff?
I don't know.
But yes, I went through all of that, so that was more enlightening. And then they asked me a bunch of history questions, and, you know, if I could recite the Pledge of Allegiance, and who was the president, and, you know, just things about the Constitution. So I did all of that, and then they said, you're okay. You can pass. And then I went to my citizenship ceremony where you do all the recite everything, and my husband got robbed at the ceremony.
How did he get robbed?
He had his Mont Blanc pen in his back pocket, and the people behind us picked it out of his pocket. Yeah.
So do you have to be an adult to get citizenship?
I think you have to be over 18 to do it, to make the decision on your own. But I believe if there is a small child, that you can have, your family can just choose to do it.
Oh, okay.
I don't know, because I was in my 20s when I got it.
Okay. Was your mom and dad a citizen at that point?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. They'd already taken their citizenship out, and then my sister followed a few years later.
Okay.
So we're all American.
So did you get your citizenship in Arkansas?
No, I got it here in Florida.
Florida?
Yeah, Sarasota.
I wonder is it different, like, depending on which state?
I don't think it should be.
Or is that like a federal thing?
It's a federal thing, so it should be. Yeah, I actually had to go to the immigration services and go through all of that, so.
Fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's my history.
So when did you live in, because I'm from Alabama and you've lived in Alabama. When did you live in Alabama?
So I'll give you my whole thing. Born in Canada.
Yeah.
When I was 7, I moved to Memphis, Tennessee.
Okay.
When I was 9, almost 10, I moved back to a different part of Canada. Then when I was 12, I moved to Arkansas. And then when I was 17, I moved to Alabama. And then when I was in my 20s, after my daughter was born, I moved to Florida.
Gotcha. And when did you meet your husband?
I met him in 1989, and we were co-assistant managers at Haagen-Dazs Ice Cream.
In Florida?
Nope.
In Alabama?
In Alabama.
Okay. Okay. What part of Alabama were you from?
Birmingham.
Birmingham. That was close to me.
Yeah.
I was in Anniston, a little outside Anniston.
Anniston, Gadsden.
Yeah.
I've got friends that live out there.
That was where Fort McClellan used to be.
Yeah.
And before they closed it. And now it's a National Guard base. But yeah, it's this little town called White Plains, Alabama.
No.
It's 30 minutes from Society. So the town is up in, it's like, have you ever heard of Cheehaw?
Yeah.
So it's right on the other side of
I've been to Cheehaw.
So it's in the valley of Cheehaw. So
Okay.
you have to go around the mountain. You're in Anniston, you go around the mountain, you go around Cheehaw, and then there's this little town. It's called White Plains.
Got it.
My family on my dad's side owned like this big stretch of land, and like it was called Watkins Road.
Okay.
And everybody on that road was a Watkins.
Okay.
And
there's a lot of that in Alabama.
There is. I actually own a fifth of some of that property out there.
Nice.
Me and my cousins, when my grandmother died, we inherited that. But so on my dad's side, it was this big thing, and then my mom, she was actually from Georgia. I'm not quite sure how she got into Alabama, but probably through the foster care system.
Well, and they're side by side, so.
Yeah. And then it's really weird. So my great aunt on my dad's side of the family was a foster parent. And my mom was one of their foster kids. And that's how my mom and my dad met.
Wow. That's pretty cool.
And then they got married at 20.
Yeah.
Well, 19, and then they had me at 20. So I was living in this little, the hospital is 30 minutes away. And I was born in Anniston.
Okay. Yeah. I can see that in Alabama. I really can.
So, yeah,
I loved Alabama. It's still the one place that I call home.
So I like the mountains. I like the seasons. I like that kind of stuff. I like the country. I like that kind of stuff. But I think the area that I'm from, I just, you grow up there.
Yeah, but there's plenty of other places you could go.
Yeah. So I think at some point I will be like in the woods, but not in those woods.
I have a friend who's selling a house in Jasper.
No, thank you. So yeah, and actually my mom, because I went to school, do you remember they called it Parkland High?
Yes.
On the news, but it's actually called Marjorie Stoneman Douglas.
Yes.
Yeah. So I went to high school there.
Okay.
Like way, way before any of that happened. But yeah, that was my high school. So when my mom got her nursing degree, we moved down there because she wanted to make more money.
Yeah, they tell you not to think about coming to Florida to make more money, and yet I made more money when I left Alabama to come here. My husband made more money moving from Alabama to come here.
After I graduated in accounting, I moved down here to make more money.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, when I moved down here, I went to go work for an audit firm.
Yeah, in college, like our accounting professors said they were either going to go to an auditing firm or a tax firm. And of course I had to be contrary.
Different. Yes.
And so my first job was as an accounts payable clerk. And I worked my way up.
Yeah. When I moved to Florida, I went to work for an audit firm. And one of my clients, when I finished their first audit, because they were getting ready to expand, they hired me away. And I was the controller. That was my first, corporate job.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Yeah. So I had, 9 people working for me, and we had, by the time, when I started there, they had 18 MRI facilities. By the time I left, there were 58 companies, including some of the franchises that we did. We grew from next to nothing to $90 million a year in 5 years.
That is a lot of growth.
That is a lot of growth. It was good company.
I can't say that at the beginning of my accounting degree I worked for a lot of good companies. I worked for companies.
Yeah.
But it was a lot of 60-hour weeks.
That's how my audit was.
And so I didn't actually miss out on what everybody else was doing. I just did it differently. So
yeah, my audit stuff was 50, 60 hours a week. During season, audit season, it was insane.
But I think, like, yeah, I went a different route, but it's one of those things I like try to pride myself in is knowing the process from beginning to end. Like with the clients, I ask, you've been there, and I go, how does your sales process work?
Yeah.
From beginning to end, from the moment that you get the customer to the moment that they're done.
Yeah.
Because if I can understand the process, we can
streamline it.
Yeah. But I felt like it was that.
Yeah. Yeah, I already had my daughter when I was working for the audit firm, so.
Wow.
Yeah.
You had your daughter while you were at school?
No, I had my daughter. Well, no. I graduated at college in 94, and Mackenzie was born in 97.
Okay.
So when I moved to Florida, I actually moved to Florida when she was 11 months old. And I went to work for the CPA firm, being an auditor.
Gotcha.
Which I loved. I absolutely loved it. It was still fun.
Yeah.
Digging through other people's stuff.
Well, we still do that.
Yes.
We do that here.
Yes.
So, well, we do that with our accounting. So.
Yeah.
But. So when you went to college, you was like straight out of high school?
Yeah, I went straight. I graduated in June of 89. We moved from Arkansas to Alabama, and I was in college in September.
What college did you go to?
University of Alabama at Birmingham.
My husband. That's why you're an Alabama fan.
Yes.
That's why. My husband is a huge Alabama fan, as you know. And when I was growing up in Alabama, it was you were an Alabama fan or an Auburn fan.
It's still that way.
I know. And I had family members that did not talk to each other.
Yes, during the Iron Bowl.
No. During Christmas.
Ah.
Because either or...
Yeah, one or the other one. Yeah.
So...
Yeah, we had to pick. It's not so much... Because UAB is not... It's part of the University of Alabama system, but they're so separate because it's downtown Birmingham and it's a commuter college.
Yeah.
And they do classes, at least when I was there, they had classes from 6 in the morning that started at 6, and then the last class ended at 10 at night. So you could go pretty much before work, after work, whatever. So they're really not part of the whole Tuscaloosa, whatever. So, but we had to pick. You have to pick. You have to be in Auburn, or you have to be...
Yeah, so I'm not gonna lie, like I was like in my younger years, I would not date anybody that was from Alabama.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
So because like my mom was in foster care, and I don't honestly, like on my mom's side of the family, I don't know who all I'm related to.
Right.
So I'm like, blanket statement, nobody from Alabama.
Yeah.
My husband tricked me though, because he was born in Florida, so I didn't think he was from Alabama, and I'd already like fallen in love with him.
Yeah.
By the time I figured out that his family is all from Alabama, and they're from, well, it's way off, so they're from Mobile.
Okay. Closer to Mississippi then.
Well, I mean, I do have family members from Mobile, but not. That's on my dad's side of the family.
Yeah.
I know my dad's side of the family. Yeah. For the most part.
Yeah. Actually, living in Alabama made me not be a college football fan. Professional I can get into. It was so horrible going through the Iron Bowl as many times as we did, and just the...
Well, that's
craziness.
the reason. That's the reason I don't I'm not big on college football.
Yeah.
I can get into the NFL because we really didn't have that. If in Alabama you were
there was no pro.
Yeah, there's no pro team there. So you're a Braves fan, you're a Falcons fan,
Nah, I was a Saints fan.
In general, if you're from that area, because
my
you're closer,
New Orleans. So
yeah. I love New Orleans.
I do too.
I've been out there. I want to go back.
I love New Orleans.
It was awesome. But yeah, you end up being, like, I remember my dad taking us to the Braves games, and me and my little sister were in the little Braves dresses.
Oh, yes. The little
and my brother
hat.
had his little hat and the jersey, and we would go.
That's funny.
And it was fun. But I always liked baseball a little bit more than football anyway.
When I grew up in Canada, I liked baseball because we had the Blue Jays, and that was really all we had. I know they have the CFL, but it's not really the same thing as the NFL.
No.
So, I mean, it's okay, but not quite the same. But yeah, I was more of a baseball fan. I was actually more of a hockey fan than anything. And when Birmingham got their hockey team, oh, I had so much fun. So I actually got kicked out of a hockey game in Birmingham.
Why am I not shocked that you got kicked out of a hockey game?
Yeah, I got kicked out for being too rowdy.
No way. No way.
I got kicked out.
Alabama.
In Alabama. I got kicked out of a hockey game for being too rowdy.
I've gone to NASCAR.
Uh-huh.
And I've seen some crazy stuff, okay? So if... I just cannot fathom you being too rowdy to...
At a hockey game.
At a hockey game.
So there was a whole...
People lose teeth.
I know.
And you were too rowdy.
I was too rowdy.
Were you drunk?
No, because I wasn't even 21.
Well, that doesn't mean you weren't drinking.
No,
right?
we weren't drinking. There was a whole group of us. We all worked together at the Levi's store before they all went out. They used to have their own stores. And whole group of us, there was one of the guys was from Pittsburgh, so he was a huge hockey fan. And then me. And then there was like 3 or 4 other people that had never seen a hockey game. So we took them. Of course, it's the East Coast Hockey League. It's not like anything major. So we go, and everybody's sitting in their seats watching the hockey game. And we're like, it was half empty, so we get right up onto the curve of the ice. And we're like, every time they come down, we're like pounding on them, screaming at them, like an actual hockey game.
Yeah, I see that on TV all the time.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're supposed to boo them. You're supposed to, they...
Rile them up.
Yeah.
Make someone lose a tooth.
Uh-huh. I had no voice the next day, and yeah, I got kicked out. So we all got kicked out for being too rowdy.
That is insane.
Stupid.
That still sounds less rowdy than the stuff I've seen in.
I know. But apparently the East Coast Hockey League did not prepare for real hockey people.
Ah. So, yeah, I didn't really like, other than on TV, like the Mighty Ducks.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't really know what hockey was.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew what was on TV, but until I moved down to Florida.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's
Toronto
like...
Maple Leafs fan from the time I was about that big.
I don't remember my family talking about anything but football.
I can see that, though, in Alabama.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I got, by the time I grew up, I was out. Like, I was done.
Yeah.
I didn't care if you were an Alabama fan or an Auburn fan. I was done. And then I met my husband, and he's a hardcore Alabama fan. No, he did not go to that college. No, he's never lived in Alabama.
Yeah.
No, he doesn't really have, I mean, his family is from Alabama. They're all hardcore Alabama fans, which you would think they would be Auburn because they're from Mobile, but that's closer to Auburn than Alabama. But
yeah,
none of them. I don't even think anybody has graduated from
either one of them.
No. Actually, he has a cousin that got a full ride to Auburn.
Okay.
And he does have family members. I remember they were talking about this thing. One of his family members was getting married, and they had sent out RSVPs like before the season came out for Alabama, and they have like...
I can only imagine where this was going.
They have like these passes, I guess, season passes to... And it was a home game, and they couldn't go to the wedding because they had to go...
To the game. Got it.
And I'm looking at my husband, and I go, you have got to be fucking kidding me.
Yep.
You went to a game instead of your family members, and I don't remember if it was like a cousin or something, but it was pretty close family member. Like, but you should have been, it wasn't like their second cousin.
But how dare they put the...
They didn't know. They did it a year before.
Okay, but...
They didn't know what the schedule was going to be.
But don't get married during football season. I'm just saying, that's the mentality. Don't get married during football season.
Are you seriously trying to say that you're taking their side?
No, I'm just saying...
You don't know the reason. So, I mean, during my first marriage, I got married. Like, the reason I picked the date that I picked was because it was, like, it was sentimental. Because my dad died when I was younger.
Yeah.
So I wanted to have the same anniversary date as my parents. So you don't know. Like, maybe it was something like that.
It could have been, but...
If there was a sentimental reason why...
There could have been.
Like, that was the day that they met, or, you know, there's lots of things.
But it's Alabama, and... It's one of the things you just don't do.
I'm from Alabama, and I never heard of that.
Oh.
No. Well, also, let's be fair. I didn't like, his family seems to be more well off.
Got it.
Than my family. Like, I don't think any of my family members have been to an Alabama or an Auburn game. Or not, I mean, maybe not more well off, just, I guess they didn't prioritize that.
Yeah.
That would be far for them.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, yeah, it would definitely would be. The only one that would be close for them would be the Iron Bowl when it was played at the stadium in Birmingham. Lost. The big one.
I can't. We very rarely went to Birmingham.
Oh.
We went to Atlanta.
Yeah, it was much closer. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
No, it's not the same.
Really?
Yeah, but we went to Atlanta. Well, we didn't have any family members in Birmingham, but we had family members in Atlanta. So when we went to Atlanta, we would visit like my uncles or my
to go to
grandparents.
Atlanta shopping all the time.
That's what we did. Yeah, when school started, we went to Atlanta. Like, we would go to Atlanta.
Do you know we probably crossed paths like a million times?
Yeah. During the Olympics, we went to Atlanta.
During the Olympics, we went to the, whatever the same stadium was that I can't remember the name. We went there to watch the Olympic soccer because all of the soccer matches were in Birmingham for the Atlanta Olympics.
I did not know that.
Yep.
But
I still have my tickets done.
Yeah. I very vaguely remember the Olympics. Like, I remember going to McDonald's and getting, like, a cool Olympics bucket.
Yeah.
I don't really remember all that much.
I'm an Olympics junkie. So. Getting ready to watch the Winter Olympics that are getting ready to start. Even more fun. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't, like I said, I think it, like, rolled over. The football thing rolled over. Like, even, I'll watch games with my husband, but that's just because I want to spend time with him.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he gets...
Can you imagine flying, like, the ski jump, right? And you get airborne. That would be so much fun. Luge.
I mean, if
bobsled.
I was there, maybe. If I was physically there. Like, I don't really like watching sports on TV. Like,
it's definitely different watching it in person.
Yeah. If I'm going to watch a baseball game, I want you to be there.
Yeah.
I don't want to watch it on TV. So.
Yeah. If the Winter Olympics were ever somewhere close, I'd probably try to go.
I would probably enjoy going to something like that.
Because it's Florida, we're not going to get that.
Not the Winter Olympics.
Not
maybe
the
the Summer Olympics.
Yeah.
But no. But yeah, my husband is weird about it. So it was one of the first few years that we were together, and he wanted to start this bet on whether Alabama or Auburn was going to win. And I go, I don't really care. I don't care.
Yeah.
I hope Alabama wins because that will make you happy.
Yes.
But my mom and my family are Auburn fans. And so eventually he just badgered me until I was like, okay, let's bet. And so for a few years there, it would be like, you would have to, like, we'd bet a hat.
Yeah.
Like, you'd have to go and get the hat. And then he had badgered me so much one year. And I go, okay, if Auburn wins, I get to pick out the Auburn hat because it's going to be mine. And you have to wear it for a week. And at the time, this is like prior to COVID, there was like this bar that we would go to on a couple of times a week, and we do there was one night for karaoke, and then there was one night for trivia, and that was just our hangout, have a drink or two.
I can see you and Tyler doing trivia.
But I told him he'd have to wear the Auburn hat to trivia and karaoke.
Ooh.
And so fast forward the game, he really thinks Alabama's going to win, and then they come into the second half, and they just blast it out of the water.
Yep.
And so Auburn wins, and he procrastinates on getting this hat, and then we get the hat, and then he had to wear it for a week. He was not happy. And I go, this is why I don't want to bet.
Yeah. Yeah. I can also see him pouting for a week while he wore the hat.
He was not happy.
I can imagine.
We went to the bar, and I think people were asking why he was wearing an Auburn hat.
Yeah.
He was like, I lost a bet. And I'm like, I should have told him that he wasn't allowed to say he lost a bet.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah.
I think I would have paid money for him to go, I am an Auburn fan. Deadpan.
This week I'm an Auburn fan.
So, now it's we have an Alabama and an Auburn Christmas tree ornament.
Oh,
and
yeah.
so whoever wins
The house divided.
No. We have two separate ornaments.
Oh.
If Alabama wins, they get to be at the front of the tree. And if Auburn wins, they get to be at the front. I'm on the side of the tree a lot. So, but yeah. So, football.
Yeah.
So, and then when my family moved down to Florida, sports just wasn't a thing.
Yeah.
We didn't.
Yeah. We were the same. We watch football on TV, and that's about it. I used to go to a lot of the Bucks games, though.
I guess the next time I started going to games and stuff was when I joined the military, because then you get who wants tickets?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the company the client that hired me away from the audit firm, they had a box at Ray J for 10 years, and I got to go a lot.
I had a couple of companies where we got Tampa Bay and Bucks tickets, and then on occasion the Thunder.
Yeah, Lightning.
Yeah. So I went a couple of those, but yeah.
Yep. It was fun.
So yeah. Well, I guess I should tell everybody why I got into accounting.
Yeah.
So, I had been in the military for 6 years. When I got out of high school, I was just I'm done with this whole learning thing. I wasn't
Yeah.
I was just tired, and I didn't know what I wanted to do. And then I went into the military, spent a lot of time in Iraq, and so after the 6 years, I was just I want something calm and not stressful, and
Sorry.
It's got to be a desk job. And so I literally went math professions.
Yeah.
And then did some research, and accounting was going to make the range of money that I wanted, that eventually I wanted. And then when I went to school for accounting, I was really good at it.
Yeah, it's one of those things that just makes sense.
I remember one time it was the upper level accounting classes, and I had started this study group because people were having problems and stuff, and I got it so quickly.
Yeah.
And then one of these girls, she'd come up to me and she goes, how long do you study? And I go, I don't. And she goes, what do you mean? I go, as long as I go to class and I can see what the teacher's saying, I'm done. I do the homework because that's what the teacher said to do. But I get it.
Yeah. I was pretty much the same.
She's like, I spent 3 hours. And I go, sorry. I don't know what to tell you.
The only one I really did not like was tax. Hated tax.
I didn't bother. Tax didn't bother me.
My final exam for tax still gives me nightmares. It was some 26-page tax return.
Was yours open book?
No.
Mine was open book. My tax teacher let us do, well, because she would put, like, you basically had to do returns.
That's what mine was, but it wasn't.
But if you didn't,
they gave us a little bit of the information that we needed, the stuff that you would have to look up for the tax tables and stuff like that. But it was capital gains and medical, and it ruined me for tax. Like, nope. Wow.
Yeah, well, tax was, I mean, if you didn't, everybody thought, oh, it's open book, it's a give me class. And I'm like, no, if you're not reading and you're not doing this stuff and you're not coming to class, you're not going to know where to look.
No.
Yeah, tax wasn't a big deal. But yeah, I went through school. She ended up, every single test, she tried to figure out what my grade was to see if it was higher or lower. And I think one test she had gotten higher. I'm like, congratulations.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care. I'm older at this point. I'm just trying to, like, I got
just want to go through it and get it done and go to work.
Yeah, I had been in the military. I was ready to, like, get through school. Like, I went summers. I did extra classes. I graduated in 3 years.
Yeah.
I didn't even want to spend the full 4 years in college.
Yeah. No, I get it.
So it was just, like, weird to me. But I got down to Florida, and it was really, really hard to find an accounting job. I joked and said, accountants eat their young.
Yes.
Which is absolutely true.
Yes.
And they put you through the ringer. If you find an accountant that has 10 years of experience, they went on hard mode.
Yeah.
So
I have 33 this year.
Welcome back. After a short break, because talking's hard. We're back, and now we're going to talk about Garvin Accounting Solutions, the firm that I started in 2024, and that Miss Susan here joined me in 2025, the beginning of 2025, which thank you.
You're welcome.
For helping me with this journey.
Yes.
And not abandoning me.
It's a good journey.
And not running away screaming.
That I thought about.
So, in 2020, well, actually, I'll go back. So, COVID hit.
Yeah.
And I had an accounting job there. I was the last one to get hired. And it was a retail, online. They sold a lot through Amazon. And so when it hit, they had to start, their revenue got cut, so.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So,
a lot of people lost their jobs.
Yeah. So I got fired. Well, I got not fired. I got let go.
Yes.
And then I was out of work for 7 months.
Wow.
Maybe more. Because I know when we sold the house in Clearwater, because I used to live in Clearwater.
Yeah.
And we lived in this 1950s house that we had completely remodeled. But during COVID, it was the real estate market went. And then it's like, oh my gosh, my house is worth too much for me to live in it anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I ended up selling it. And the day I closed on the house in Zephyr Hills was the day that I got a job. I was working for Robert Half as one of their full-time accountants. So basically, I was their employee. I got benefits, everything like that, and then they would just send me out
to fill in.
To fill in, or one of the things that they really liked that I could do was the cleaning up and that kind of stuff. So I did a lot of that stuff. And I mean, when I say I traveled all over the Tampa Bay area, I traveled all over, and I got a ton of experience. Yeah. I got nonprofit experience, I got medical, healthcare experience, grant experience, there was so much, I already had manufacturing experience, but I got more manufacturing experience. It was a lot.
Yeah.
So, and then one of the jobs was a manufacturer, and they had ended up offering me a full-time position as a controller, and I was super excited, and I was like, yay. And this is around the time that I was adopting the 4 kids.
Yeah.
So I was thinking, oh, I can settle down and my schedule won't move as much. That didn't work out quite the way I wanted to. We'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
I had actually, after that job, I went back to the consulting and then went to an accounting firm. And I was doing pretty much the same thing I did for Robert Half for this accounting firm, like what we do right now. And I saw practices I didn't like.
Yeah. Charging
clients for you having to learn something. It was like nickeling and diming it.
Did you have to bill by the 10th of the hour?
No, I didn't. Well, I didn't bill. I was per hour. And then it was just a weird thing. Like, I was like thinking about it, and I was like, per hour on accounting, like a lot of accounting is research and stuff like that. And so, and then I remember going to like the owner and going, because there was this situation where a client had been wronged, let's say. Okay. The accounting firm had sent someone out. That person didn't do what they said they were going to do. Yeah. And then in order to fix it, they sent me out to go and clean it up and everything. So I did my best and as quickly as I could cleaned it up. But at some point, and they had promised the client that we'll clean it up, we're not going to charge you any extra, da-da-da-da-da. But then they were like, oh, we can't do this anymore. Like, it's getting too expensive. And in my mind, it was like, yeah, but you messed up. Yeah. And you owe him, like, you haven't earned your money. He paid you for 3 months, and that person didn't do anything. It doesn't matter that she didn't, but he paid for work. And so it was like stuff like that. And then, like, when I went to the owner, it was like, well, we got to get paid. And I'm like, it seemed like there was an environment of the money was more important. And I ended up going to another accounting firm, same thing, and I'm like, there has to be a better way.
That's part of the reason I went out on my own and just started picking up random clients, because the whole corporate thing and doing it somebody else's way wasn't working for me. Yeah. So. But I was not brave enough to start a firm like you did.
Well, it was. I had some money that I was able to that I had from other situations that I could put into it, so I could have some time off without having an immediate client, and it would be fine. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to do this my way. I'm going to see if my way works better. And so I opened the firm. It was super scary because
I can imagine.
I will say, when I went to go open the firm, I did continue to work for the accounting firm on because there was a couple of clients that I needed to finish up, and they were those clients where they don't really want to work with anybody else. Yes. And they only want to work with you. Yes. And that was where they were at. And so I had to at least finish that up. So I did have a little bit, but it still wasn't it wasn't a full-time job. Right. So I had a little bit of cash coming in, but I remember I'm setting up my LLC, talking to my husband, and actually the firm was supposed to be Foxy Accounting Solutions. And my husband goes, you can't have a firm called Foxy Accounting Solutions. Nobody's going to take that seriously.
I can see both sides of that. Okay.
So I was like,
Garvin. It might intrigue people.
I was like, Garvin, that's a fancy name. And it has a G.
Yeah.
So I went with Garvin Accounting Solutions. I actually found that Fox on like a Canva thing.
I love the Fox.
And it kind of looks like a G.
Yes.
So I'd done all of that, and I went through like a couple of companies that were supposed to like bring you leads, and that didn't work. And I was like, I don't know what to do. One of my longtime friends, he had been in B&I, and I asked him about it. I was like, do you really think like it'll make you money? Like it'll bring you?
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah. And so I go in search of B&I chapters. I find a B&I chapter and start doing that. And like I do everything, I went above and beyond and a little bit crazy. And apparently it worked because I started getting clients. So I opened I think the LLC is like May of 2024. By the time I got to the end of that year, I had more work than I knew what to do with.
Yes.
And I'm sitting here searching for anybody that they have to have a little bit of experience in accounting, but anybody. And so we fast forward to the beginning of the year, and I'm like pretty much begging in the B&I meetings, like somebody, I need help.
Yeah.
And then that's when Terry gave me, you and someone else's number. Yeah. And I looked at, he'd like given me like a synopsis of you, and I'm like, I can't afford her. And so I tried with the other person, but she was like, I can pick up things quickly. And I was like, I don't need someone to pick up things quickly. I need someone to be able to like run with it. And then right after that, I got sick.
Yes.
And I was sick for like 2 weeks. I got further behind. And then I had a meeting with Terry, and he goes, you should really call Susan. And I called you, and you were awesome.
We had a 45-minute conversation that felt like we'd known each other for years.
Yeah. And I was like, I really like her. I think she has the knowledge base I need. Like, am I running into this? Well, let me meet her. And I remember
the next day,
I was nervous. I showed up early, and then I was like, oh, this cough will not go away. So I run down to the Walgreens to pick up some cough medicine. Because I was like, I don't want to have the wrong impression. And then come to find out, you don't give a shit.
Yeah, I don't care.
And then I went and I was like, this is perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. And I'm not going to lie, for a few months after that, I thought we were going to run away screaming.
Oh, I remember. When I called and said, let's meet at the coffee shop and have breakfast and talk, you seriously thought I was going to quit. Yeah. I remember that.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I'm not quitting.
Yep.
I'm like, let's just meet for some breakfast. Can we not do that?
I mean,
honestly, the first couple of months, it was hard because you were still bringing in clients as I was trying to get up to speed on the ones that you already had and managing the ones I was bringing over at the same time. So, yeah, it was
crazy. It was definitely...
And it was tax season.
Yeah, and then I thought I had a plan for tax season, and then that didn't work out, and then we had to, like... I will say that we have been, like... I'm actually kind of proud of how, like...
We've just rolled with it.
Yeah, like, we come up on a obstacle, and we just go, okay, let's get this done.
Yeah.
And we definitely have ran into some obstacles.
Yes, we have. We have.
And that was also the time that we got our biggest client, too. And that was going to be... That was a lot of work.
Still a lot of work.
Yeah. And then I really liked that you had the same philosophy as me. And that you saw what I saw. Yeah. Accounting can be done. Accounting can be a return on investment.
Yes.
And it can be something that a small business or big business or any business can value.
Right.
It's not just about banking.
No, it's projections and helping them with loans and telling them what they can and can't afford and all of the stuff that we used to do as controllers for big companies that could afford to pay us. Now it's mom and pop shops that have no guidance. They have no financial guidance out there at all for that level.
Yeah, I know we've definitely brought on clients and they've been like, well, I joke around when I go to BNI and I go, give me your clients that have receipts and shoe boxes.
Exactly.
But some of our,
yeah, we've had it.
So where they don't have accounting or they don't think accounting's needed.
Yeah.
And then when you have, the problem with that is that once you get to a place where you're starting to expand and get bigger, because you don't have that foundation, it becomes that much harder.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we give value to our clients.
I do too.
And I think we definitely shock them sometimes. Yes. I know I was in a one of our annual meetings that I have with the clients, and I was like going over all of this stuff with him, and I think he was like shocked because I like, okay, you need to spend more in marketing. This is like, you would normally want to be around 10% of your revenue based on your industry. And I'm like walking him through all of it. And then he was like bringing on salespeople. And I'm like, do you have a commission structure? Do you have this?
Yeah.
I got you. So it's not, that's what I try to tell people. This isn't bookkeeping.
No, it's way beyond bookkeeping.
This is fractional CFO services.
Correct.
And people hear that and they think, oh, I don't need all that.
No. And there's more to it. Like, a lot of what I do with the day-to-day stuff is traditional bookkeeping. But it's more than that, because I'm looking at every transaction, trying to make sure that it's getting classified to the places that are going to give them, first of all, it has to make sense. But secondly, if you have an option between two accounts and one is going to give them a better return for their taxes, then why would you not want to put it there? Yeah. So it's more than just basic bookkeeping. It's looking at everything from how are we going to save this client money on their taxes? How are we going to, make this beneficial? Yeah. And then you come in with the analysis at the end after doing all of that and, really show them the numbers. And it's amazing. It really is eye-opening.
I really like how we have balanced out, and at the beginning, I don't even remember having a conversation about it.
No,
I think you just started picking up the day-to-day stuff, and I just started, because you don't seem to like the analysis, and you don't.
I don't mind the analysis. It's just I like doing the day-to-day stuff because I kind of feel like, for me, if I'm doing the day-to-day stuff and I'm doing things and putting them in the right categories, the analysis in my brain is already there, so that if I do the analysis, I'm not looking at it with fresh eyes. Yeah. So
I remember the first time a client asked me, can I do this? And I go, I gotta look at your stuff. And before, I didn't have to do that because I was doing everything.
Right.
I could literally go into my little brain and go, okay, that's the balance sheet, that's the P&L, you can afford it. And I remember them going, and I felt bad because I was like, I don't know the day-to-day stuff. And then it took me a bit to go, but I'm not supposed to.
No.
Because
that's our double check.
That's the checks. And actually, like, at this point, we have 3 checks. Because we have our staff accountant that goes through everything. Then you go through everything. And then I go through everything. And I think that gives... I think it makes it so that by the time it gets to the client...
We know the
very
answers.
Little that's going to be wrong.
Right.
And... It was weird to not know everything about the clients. And there's been a couple of times that I've had to, I felt like I had to explain myself. Yeah. Go, listen, I don't have that answer because we have checks and balances.
Right.
and da 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 da. And so, but it was hard because it felt like I was almost like I was about to lose something.
Yeah.
And I'm like, am I losing control over?
No, I think you're actually gaining control over it.
Yeah. And then I thought the clients would buck to it. But actually they don't. They're like, oh, that makes sense. I'm glad you have that.
Yeah.
So they value the fact that
more than one person is looking at it.
That I don't have an answer for them like that.
Yeah.
And that I have to look at the financials and do them. And then it puts me in a position where I can do the stuff that I can do quicker.
Yeah.
And that I'm good at and that I'm interested in.
Taxes.
I mean, like the taxes thing, I'm not like, it's whatever. But I mean, I know that there has been times where I was like sitting there doing the bookkeeping, like classifying stuff.
Yeah.
I've fallen asleep.
Yeah.
That does not, because it's just the way my brain works. It has to constantly be doing something. So,
and classifying the transactions sometimes is tedious. But like even on our largest client that has a lot of bills.
Yeah.
I am so familiar with it now going through, I can tell just by XYZ company invoice and it's this amount of money. Wait, that's not what it was last month. Why is this one different? And then you start looking at it and seeing that maybe they had some maintenance or whatever on it. But yeah, it's repetitive, but it's not. It's because you're constantly thinking, hey, was this right? Is this what it was last month? Why did this go up?
Yeah, but I get trapped into the repetitiveness and my brain goes to sleep.
Yeah.
So, and then I go to sleep. And then I also remember at one point feeling I wasn't doing as much because I wasn't in the day-to-day. And then I'm like having to go back and go, okay, like I literally had to sit down and write out a list of everything I was doing before I felt better about it.
You were doing all the tax returns, like all of the tax returns.
Oh, and I remember like last year, I think it was 3 months solid, I did not look at any accounting.
Nope.
All I was doing was tax return, and the moment I got done with one, there was 3 more coming in.
Yep.
And it was just like, I hate tax. And so, this year it's different because now we've learned from last year.
Yeah.
And so the people that we can get done before we get done. So it's like flowing a little bit better. And we're not bringing on a new person at that time. Now we have an extra person.
And if you're watching this,
hi Kim.
You should be here with us.
So I feel like we have more structure and
yeah, definitely. And because of the way things went down last year, and we had to scramble and get the software and learn the software and all of that at the last minute because the route we were going didn't work.
Yeah.
We were behind the 8 ball to start last year, which made it much worse.
Yeah. But this year we're doing much better and we have a lot going for us.
We did.
I'm starting to think like this is not that this is real. I always knew this was real, but this works.
Yeah.
We have clients. We have clients that can see the value in what we do. And then, I've never, the reason that I do the pricing off of revenue is because that's what made the most sense to me.
Yeah. Because
as their revenue goes up, we go. We're building with them. We become a partner, not just someone you have to pay every month.
Right.
And so,
and obviously as their revenue goes up, there's more things that we're going to be dealing with. So our time goes up as well. So
yeah, there is a correlation between the two. And so, and I like being able to do the revenue thing because then we can be affordable for everybody. And I just don't think that the hourly thing, because I've seen it where they'll make something take longer.
Yeah.
But with the revenue,
it's just
there's incentives to do things faster. There's incentives to find everything to make it so that business makes more money.
Yeah.
So they have a return on investment.
Exactly.
But I think it's one of those things that our clients see the difference.
Yeah.
And I think they appreciate it, and I think they're definitely seeing it.
Yeah, because they know that our goal is not, number one is not to make more money.
Yeah.
And that helps them. Like, we won't make more money until they make more money.
We're still a business. We want to make money.
Yes, but you know what I mean. It's not...
We want to make it in the right way because our clients are succeeding.
Right. Which is what was wrong with the firms that we worked at before.
Yeah.
They prioritized them getting money over their clients being successful.
I think that if your client's successful and I think the route that we are going makes it so that you actually end up with a client for longer and you end up making more money.
Yes. Yeah.
And then the other thing is explaining what you're doing and why you're doing it.
Yeah.
Because I've never thought that the reason that you pay me to do the job is because I necessarily know more than you do.
Right.
I think it should be because they don't want to do it. Nobody wants to, outside of us crazy people, nobody else wants to do accounting.
Right.
And portions of it is because we have the knowledge that we can do it faster, more efficient, and stuff like that. But I never want it to be,
It's not top secret.
You can go on Google.
Yeah.
Literally Google.
And learn how to do accounting. May not be the best way to do that, but, you can at least get the basics.
Yeah, so that's why there's a big push, and we both have this big push to educate our clients.
Yeah.
This is why we're doing this. This is why we want to do straight line depreciation versus, accelerated depreciation. Right. This is why we're doing this.
And this is why you do the analysis.
So, and I, walk the client through it.
Yeah.
And it also gives them the knowledge so that when they are making a decision, they can have the little accountant
exactly
sitting
on your shoulder.
Yeah, and we can be there without being there.
Right. Because they understand their financial position.
Yeah. They're not just looking at profitable, not profitable. They know why we're taking those specific deductions on the tax return. They know why we're telling them, hey, this is why you should spend more in marketing. Or when an account is like, hey, you spent a lot in meals and entertainment.
Yeah.
We need to scale that back.
Yeah.
So I think that's the main thing, knowledge and
education
and return on investment.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But we've been in business together a year. I know. Yeah. So exciting.
Yeah. And
on to year 2.
Yes. And I think it's going to be a good year. We have the podcast that's here. We have a whole year of lunch and learns that are already, I already have speakers for all of them. We're expanding to give this education just to our clients, and not just accounting, marketing, IT, all of these things, so that business owners can be more knowledgeable. So that, because I remember when we've been through 3 marketing.
Yeah.
And you don't realize when you open a business, we're really good at accounting.
Not so good at marketing.
But that's not supposed to be work.
I know.
But when you're a business owner, you have to kind of be a jack of all trades.
Yeah.
And you have to be able to ask the right questions.
Yeah.
So that's what
we've got some good partners right now. Some good business partners.
Yep. And bringing them on. And the thing is when you're going to go to a vendor, like, you're only going to know if they're good if you ask the right questions, and you don't know what questions to ask. So that's what I'm really hoping the podcast will be, is basically, even if you're up in Washington State, you can still get the knowledge from here in Florida.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm kind of hoping that the podcast will be, and that we'll be able to do, and have you on some more.
Yeah, I'll come on some more.
So this wasn't so bad, right?
No, it was good.
Just a chat.
We're good.
And I'm really looking forward to our dinner and learn. We have it being catered.
Teach and eat?
Teach and eat?
Nah. No, we'll figure something out. We'll play around with it.
We're having it catered by one of our clients who makes the best desserts on the planet. It's Just a Taste by Glenna, and we're having it in a new location in the lodge there, which is gorgeous.
I think it'll be a great setting.
And we're also going to try and do it in the evening, see if a little bit of wine will make you okay with learning about tax. But I have like a really very good class set up.
There's been a lot of changes here in Florida this year.
Yeah.
For this year.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go over some of the changes that happened from last year to this year, but also I'm gonna, especially for business owners, some of the key deductions that what you'll need for it, so you can ask the right questions when you're going to a tax professional.
You gonna talk about that big, nasty, big, beautiful bill?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of hard to talk about tax and not talk about that right now.
Yeah.
So, and there are some significant changes. So, like,
it's got to be significant, because when I log into QuickBooks Payroll for Florida entities now, it comes up and it says, the big, beautiful bill, here's your changes for payroll.
Well, and that wasn't just for Florida. That was for federal.
Right.
Like, so, yeah, there are going to be some changes on the state level, but I would say, like, the bigger changes, the things that are going to affect people more, is going to be on the federal level, because we don't file, I mean, other than like the payroll,
right? We
don't file a tax return in Florida.
Correct.
But some of the biggest changes I was seeing is for if you're going to college, your education deduction, and honestly, elderly. So
and both of those are big here in Florida.
Yeah. So there's those changes that I'm going to review while we eat some pasta, and I think it'll be a good time, and I'm really hoping that we have a good showing and that y'all come out and join us.
You're going to teach us the right questions to ask?
Yes, I am. So don't forget to join us February 25th. You can sign up on Meetup or Eventbrite, or you can go straight to our website under events and sign up. And I think that's it for now.
So.
We will, of course, for those of you who are not in Florida, we will be airing that dinner and learn, but much later in March. So don't forget to join us in February, and thank you, Susan, for being brave.
Thanks for convincing me I needed to come on.
And coming on here, I think I learned new stuff about you, and I hang out with you every day.
I know. I know.
And then don't forget to join us on February 25th. It'll be at 5:00. You can go to our website and sign up. And as always, I appreciate y'all watching. Later on this month, we should be coming out with history of tax that I've put together. That's one of the podcasts that will be going out. And there's some like pretty interesting stuff that
I'm sure there is. I'm actually looking forward to that one.
So that should be coming out in the next week or two. And then we'll obviously have the lunch and learn. So in the comments, ask us any questions, tell us any comments that you may have, or let us know what you want to learn about next. And as always, we appreciate you watching us, and don't forget to keep your business foxy.